So first step is to identify poles and zeros. So numerator will be having zeros, denominator will be having poles. So first I'll identify poles, that is denominator. This S term, it is equals to 0. Then from this, if you use calculator and find the root, means you will get S is equals to -1 plus j, S is equals to -1 minus j. This is regarding poles. Similarly, for zeros means it will be in the numerator, S is equals to minus 0.5. So this is first step. Whether P is greater than Z or Z is greater than P. P means pole, Z means zeros. Yes, we can see we are having 3 poles. So I will write 3 here. So 0, we are having 1. So pole 0. Yes, 3 is greater than 1. Which one will be greater? That many number of n, where n is the branches in the root locus graph. So this is second step. P minus Z, that is 3 minus 1, 3 poles 1 0, 3 minus 1 is 2, which is equals to Q. Q is nothing but an asymptote, which is next step. So Q is equals to 2. That means you are having two variables. It always starts from 0. So 0 and 1. Okay, so Q is equals to 2 means Q is equals to 0 and 1. It always starts from 0. So I told Q means, see, I told 3 minus 1, that is P minus Z is equals to 2 equals to Q. Q means, Q is equals to 2 means two variables, that is 0 and 1. It always starts from 0. So next step is asymptote, that is theta. Its formula is 2Q plus 1 into 180 divided by P minus Z. So Q is equals to 0 and 1. So for Q is equals to 0, what is the value of theta? That will be our theta 1. That is, put Q is equals to 0, then you will get the value of theta. Then similarly Q is equals to 1 for this one. Then what is the value of theta? So if you put Q is equals to 0, then you will get 90. Then Q is equals to 1, you will get 270. So after asymptote, next step is centroid, that is rho. Summation of real number of poles minus summation of real number of zeros divided by P minus Z. So real number of poles means consider only real numbers. See here, real number is equal to 0. Then these two roots only consider real number, -1 and -1. So 0, -1, -1. So I will write for poles 0, -1, -1. Only consider real numbers. Minus, then zeros. This is real number, that is, it is having minus 0.5. Minus 0.5 whole divided by P minus Z. P minus Z is 3 minus 1 equals to 2. So 2. So you will get minus 0.75. So this is S plane. This is called as S plane. So we are having imaginary, then real. Here minus imaginary and minus real will be there. So first identify poles and zeros. See here, S equals to 0, -1 plus j, -1 minus j. So whenever there is a complex number, we will get poles on the imaginary number. That will draw here. S equals to 0, S equals to 0, then -1, we are having one pole, that is plus j and minus j. So 3 poles. This is for poles. Similarly, S equal to minus 0.5, that is somewhere here. I will draw one circle, minus 0.5. After marking poles and zeros, so next is centroid. So centroid we had got 0.75 and asymptotes 90 and 270. So centroid 0.75, see 0.75, 75 and mark here, that is in between 0.5 and 1, right? Then asymptotes. So by using protractor, if you draw 90 means you will get straight line theta 1, then 270 means this one theta 2, right? This is next step. So this is one of the example. So here I drawn the root locus. For root locus root I am writing RL. Okay. So how to draw this root? I will tell you. From the right hand side, this is first pole. So root locus exists only for odd numbers. So as this is first one, root locus is existing. Again, so this root locus is existing till another pole or 0 come in the middle, right? So again, from the right hand side, if you check, this is second pole. So root locus does not exist. Third 0, third means odd number, right hand side third one. So odd number existing, fourth not existing, fifth existing, right? So this is the way how we are drawing the root locus. Similarly, in our problem, we are having one pole -1, here on pole, here on pole. So 1 0 is there. It is 0. -0.5. So from the right hand side, imaginary, this is real, right? So from the right hand side, this is first pole, so root locus will exist.